apocalypse.
What's going on, my gaming gurus? How you doing? This is Xero, the old school gamer, and of course the Iron Heart of Xbox, and welcome to another video. This is actually going to be a very short video because of the recent closure that is going to be happening to Stadia, and of course Phil Harrison deciding to out that information. I believe it was yesterday. A lot of speculation has been going out that this might be a damper in the ABK deal with Microsoft, and of course Sony having a winning argument. But I actually have a counter to that argument, as you're going to see here. So if this is the first time visiting my channel, and of course you actually visit my channel frequently, why don't you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, and also feel like hitting that bell so that way you can get notified whenever a new video comes up. Plus you can visit my Twitter page as well. Go to @HudXero, that's HUDXERO, and drop me a DM, or actually give me a follow so you can follow up on whatever news are coming up in my opinions. So let's talk about a few things. Look, I have a feeling that people don't realize how much money Google actually has. Phil Harrison, pretty much everything he touches turns to crud lately. I mean, he actually has struck out several times with PS3, with Xbox, now with Stadia. So let's talk about a few things. Number one, Google actually is a $1 trillion company. They actually invested a lot of money in the infrastructure of Stadia. They put a lot of emphasis on acquisitions, as well as putting publishing deals with a lot of developers for their platform. But what people don't realize is that they haven't invested enough. They actually, I believe it was an expose with Kotaku. They actually put out a huge statement. I'm actually trying to look up the information right now. But they put out a statement when they mentioned, I believe it was Phil Harrison mentioned that they were actually looking into acquisition of Bethesda and ZeniMax Studios. And because that deal never happened, they feel like they had a huge disadvantage, especially with Microsoft and their buying power. So why are you going to be blaming Microsoft for something that you could have easily done? You had plenty of money, you had plenty of time, there was plenty of studios out there that you had plenty of time to actually negotiate with, and you could have actually won up with, but you didn't want to spend the money. And because they didn't want to spend the money, Microsoft got their hands on it, and they actually gained new partnerships. So of course they became strong. Plus their marketing was a little bit better because they decided to actually do it widespread. They have it practically everywhere. And of course they were also blaming the pandemic, which I don't blame them, but the pandemic started in 2019, and you guys got started in 2019. So I can't really blame it too much on the pandemic. But then, of course, you didn't decide to throw money into your own studios. You actually only had one studio that actually made a couple, I think it was one exclusive that came out for the Stadia. I forgot what the game was called. Leave a comment below. Let me know what that game was. I don't even remember what the heck it was. But there was also some other third-party deals that you were going to do. And now they're getting a shaft, which is another subject altogether. There was a couple of games that were supposed to be coming out in November and December. Now that the servers are going to be shut down in January, what's the point? Now they're actually talking about, oh, everyone's going to be getting their refunds. Everyone's going to be getting their, you can bring back your equipment. You can, every game that you purchase, you will get all your money back. You saw about millions of subscribers to the Stadia system. So now that everyone actually has this speculation now that since Google and Microsoft has a kind of turbulent relationship, so to speak, they feel like Google wants to kind of drag down Microsoft with them because of how petty they can be. But didn't Google defend Microsoft when they actually had the when the FDA was what was it, FTC? I'm sorry, the FTC decided to to ask questions, and they asked questions to several companies like Apple, Activision, Google, and a few other big companies as well. And they all had their certain opinions. And I think there was only one company, right? The only one company that was against what's going on, and that was Sony. And because of that, think about this. Because of that, this is why this whole thing is going on. They went through the Brazilian board, they went through the FTC, and now they're going through the CMA. I mean, look, there are several caveats to this conversation, and shout out to a few people out there that that had mentioned it. I mean, I believe it was let me see, I think it was who said that? Yeah, it was on Game On Daily actually. There was an opinion. Asa from Game On Daily, he actually had a little excerpt about that. He feels like this Google Stadia is, dying. It's going to cause some problems, some turbulence, for the ABK deal. Of course, he was also very skeptical about, consolidation of the industry. It's bad for the industry. I actually have a counter to that. There were too many companies. There was too many game companies, smaller ones, that actually went away to the dodo because number one, they didn't have enough funding. Number two, they were ouch. They didn't have enough staff, or they couldn't keep staff. And there wasn't enough. There weren't enough publishers out there that wanted their product, so they had to self-publish their games. Not enough money. Not enough funding for their ads, and the ad revenue was bad. They didn't get enough return for spending their hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars towards the game. And of course, the R&D, which the bugs and the quality of the game, and also the crunch, which actually caused a lot of stress and duress with a lot of the employees for the company and developers and whatnot. So I feel like consolidation to the company to companies in need is important for the preservation of the video game industry. Everyone wants their favorites. Everyone wants their games. Oh, they gotta make quality games. If you want people to buy their games, if they want, you gotta put it in the quality. All right, now put yourself in their shoes. Think about the time that they actually had to put into their games. Think about the time they had to get away from home. Think about those long 14 to 18-hour days. I've been hearing there were even up to 20-hour days right before launch, to actually make sure that everything was well in hand before a game goes gold. And on top of that, there's times where deals got dropped before the game even gets released. Let alone, there's times where games even get canceled. They said, okay, well, we thought this through, and we no longer, want your game on our platform, or we don't want the game at all. And of course, Kickstarters and stuff like that, and fundraisers for certain games to come out. Thinking Shenmue 3 would actually came out by itself without Sony's help? No. What about some other games like Street Fighter 5? Street Fighter 5 would have never came out unless Sony or another company could have jumped in. There would have never been a Street Fighter 5. You think Street Fighter 5 would have been done by itself? Capcom was already going through a lot of turmoil, and I think they finally bounced back because a lot of great games started coming out. Devil May Cry 5 and I think was a good start. Street Fighter 5 was another one. Monster Hunter actually gave them a huge boost. So you think about this. You're telling me that having a big corporation like Microsoft or Sony or Tencent or yeah, hell, even Google. Let's just throw Google into the mix. It's not a bad idea and bad investment to actually put into there to put into perspective, going in and everything, and actually, gobbling up. But it's only going to be for one platform. Oh, they're going to make exclusivity, and then what if the game actually becomes, goes on Steam, they streaming services, and then I will never be able to have physical platform. Okay, look, you have options out there now. There's certain games that are digital only out there now. There are certain companies like Limited Run, and I believe it was another one, Merge, I think it was. They actually do physical games that never came to from digital. These things are actually happening, and of course the deals actually happen through the companies, and the companies do, many publishers actually do need a little bit more financial backing to kind of help out. Yeah, there are thousands of employees in some of these companies, and you're thinking they're spread a little too thin. We get it. But you guys actually want more games too. You want quality games. You want those blockbusters. You want those bangers. You want those AAA, high quality, movie-like games, over-the-shoulder, action, story-driven games. Everybody wants that. They want that little bit of Hollywood in their tiny little box. I get it. But here's the thing, and this is my opinion only. I feel like a lot of people are taking these little, nuances and everything for delusions of grandeur, so to speak. I mean, I feel that we, as a gaming community, should let them do what they're doing, so you can actually get some quality games. Everybody wants great games. Everybody wants great games. I want great games too. But you feel like they're gonna start getting lazy. Okay, granted. You know what? I would be in the same boat, and I have, believe it or not, since 2013. I'm an Xbox fan, I am, but I give criticism where criticism is due, and I'm saying that sometimes companies get a little lazy and say, you know what, let's just put out a product and then we'll patch it later because we need to get it out there because you already got the marketing done, we already got all that stuff done, everything is done, but you know what, if the game's not finished, we'll put out what we have and then we'll fix it later. Yeah, I get it. But now I think the companies are starting to learn. I think the corporations are starting to learn just a little bit that the customer is not willing to spend the money if the game's qualities are not where it needs to be. Yes, there's a little niche titles and stuff like that, and you know what? They get a little bit of a pass. But when it comes to those big AAA titles, heck, even some of those AA titles, you gotta think that, hey, maybe we need to put a little bit more effort into our game. Halo right now, you look at the shakeup, what's going on over with 343 Industries, And also I heard that Bonnie Ross, she's not leaving the company. She's just pretty much taking a sabbatical because she having family issues. I wish her well. I hope everything is well at the house or at the home. I hope everything goes well with the family, and hope to see you again soon. And of course, they're getting three executives to kind of step in to take care of those roles to spread it out a little bit. And then we heard that Senate Affinity is actually going to be helping out with the Battle Royale. And I also heard that the Halo engine, Slipspace, might be going the way of the dodo because it was so difficult to actually make the game for. It went through development hell. I mean, remember Craig? Yeah. It's because of Slipspace, because Slipspace was not perfected yet. And then, of course, UE5, which is proven to be a extremely well developed engine, with the access to assets that are fantastic, and I've been hearing great praises. They can easily transfer all the stuff that was from Space engine to the UE5. They can easily do that. And then once they do that, and then they can follow through. And I also believe that the new the new Halo that's going to be coming out possibly in 2024, 2025 will be fantastic, because there's a management shakeup. There's actually new management involved. The teams are actually kind of broken up, and and they moved a couple of pieces here and there. I have a feeling that we are going to be in for a huge surprise for Halo when that game comes out, and especially the Battle Royale when it actually comes out as well. So, I know I'm digressing a little bit, but it actually just boils into what's going on with this ABK deal. I feel like Microsoft should actually get Activision Blizzard, and of course King. Do you think about the financial motive? Okay, I get it. But think about the games also. There's franchises that they haven't touched for years. It's been all about Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. Yes, Modern Warfare 2 is absolutely amazing. I missed the beta. I have to purchase the full game to actually be able to enjoy it. But I heard the multiplayer is absolutely amazing, and I saw some gameplay and I'm like, wow, they actually are coming back to form. And you know what? I'm actually going to probably get it day one. But when it comes down to people saying, Sony won't survive without Call of Duty, or Call of Duty being with one company, that Microsoft is actually going to money had it. Wait, well, look, they spent over almost $70 billion. $70 billion is unheard of. It's unfathomable for the company. So why not? I think they're entitled. But then again, they actually even gave them the olive branch and said, hey, you know what? We're going to extend the deal so that way you can actually have it for a little while longer on your platform. So whether it be 2 to 3 more Call of Duties, because they said they're going to be spreading out the Call of Duty games a little bit further to give them more development time to actually make the games better, which I think is a great idea. But think about this one. Think about how many companies like that. They have Beanox actually on it. They have Infinity Ward on it. They have Ravensoft on it. They have they have all these they have all these companies working, even Sledgehammer. They have all these companies working on Call of Duty when they could be working on their own IPs right now. There are games out there that need, like Singularity, fantastic game. Guess what? No, that game is never gonna get a sequel, let alone a reboot. Why? Because they're working on Call of Duty. How about a decent Tony Hawk game? Not a remake. I'm talking about a decent Tony Hawk game for the console. Oh, wait, no. I know the reason why. Because the company that actually made it, before, like Neversoft, they're working on Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong. I love Call of Duty, and I know a lot of people. And I know it's $1 billion seller, and they make hundreds of thousands. They sell hundreds of thousands of copies every single year. But guys, gals, people, you don't have to have Call of Duty every single year. You can have Call of Duty every 3 years. It makes more sense. And of course, you can actually get more groundswell. You get more people vested. You don't give people an opportunity to actually readjust. Yeah, I'm bored. I went through all 25 maps. I went through all there, and I think I prestiged 15 times for all my weapons and stuff like that. I maxed everything out. I'm bored. I need another one. Maybe I need a little bit of time off the game consoles for a little bit, or play something else for goodness sake. But I digress. Maybe what do you think? What do you think? Do you think I'm just kind of throwing off the cuff about all these things, or do you feel that, hey, you know what? Maybe I do have a point. Maybe that companies do need just a little bit more capital. And besides Bobby Kotick and everything, he needs to take a hike, because we don't need him. Whatever he does or whatever he did, really did put the company in a bad light. So, I don't know. That's my thoughts. So, why don't you go ahead and leave your comments below and everything. And also, please hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel if you like the content. I am going to be doing another video. It's actually going to be fantastic. Of course, pre-recorded. And it's going to be dealing with ads. You know, that, hey, video games, you know, the ads that we used to watch got our attention, it garnered our attention, and I think more investment in the ads, in the commercials, makes more sense. People are like, oh, you know, you don't need that, you know, all you need is gameplay trailers. No, maybe you need something a little bit more, bullet points, throw something funny in there, make it quirky, different. It makes more sense. I think that, you know, a little bit of money and everything, you know, it doesn't have to be a long commercial either. It would actually garner the attention and say, you know what? Ooh, wow, I heard about that game. You know? I don't know. That's my thoughts. Anyways, I'm Xero, the old school gamer, and of course the Iron Xbox. And remember, I tell all my friends, stay awesome.